Welcome everybody to the Hubiverse. Right now you are seeing a screen share from actually I want to be able to kind of pass the mic off to you and explain who you are and what you're going to be doing. I'm just a facilitator of the stream right now, Ammon. So it's all you, man.
Sounds good. My name's Ammon. Stevenson. I am the head of the art department over at Empire Branding Co. But currently, I am working with the awesome guys at Future Proof to make an awesome comic book that is going to go alongside the video game. And we've been working on it for a few months now. We've been making some good progress, and we thought we could show you guys a little bit behind the scenes as we begin this next page. I'm basically just going to storyboard it out, and then eventually you'll be able to go get the comic book, see the final, and you'll be able to see what it started as, how it ended up. So hopefully we can just kind of have a little fun time drawing, and who knows what we'll do. We'll do some fun stuff and hang out. So sounds good. Good to be here.
Sweet, man. Yeah, let's get right into it. I might move some stuff on the screen around too, so you do you and bring it up and we're good to go.
Okay. Is it still casting? Can you see me?
I do not see you. I don't think. Do you guys see? I don't see anything.
So it still says that I'm sharing. It still says that I'm sharing in Discord, so it should be good to go.
I don't have anything. Let me pull up my Discord. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's that I'm. Yep, it's definitely me. So you're all good.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was me for a second. I have to jump back in Discord to be able to watch it. So it needs to have a pop out return to the app. Here we go. Right. Oh man, what a nightmare. Pop out. Okay, now everybody should see it, right? Well, give it a minute on the stream.
Oh, there we go.
That's it. There we are. Beautiful. Sorry, I was trying to monitor the stream, and I'm like, "Where's the window?" But that's it. Cool.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Did the stream end, Tom?
No, stream's still going.
Did the stream end, Tom? But okay, cool.
All right. Well, let's just get right into it. So I should turn off my notifications on my phone so it's screaming in people's ears. Let's see. There's a comment there. You really don't realize how many lines go into it. Yes. These yes, these drawings have taken quite a few lines. I've been talking with the guys. Shared a little fun fact about how many lines go into the first several pages, and it's a lot more than you typically would have guessed on your own. So yes, it's a lot of lines, lots and lots of lines.
Hey, Eamon, you got a question in chat for you.
Let's see. Was it hard to switch from physical to digital? I always feel weird trying to do digital. So, the funny thing is, I've been doing digital for quite a while. I was a truck driver for 10 years, and I right before I was right in the middle of that big chunk, I went and sold solar panels to out east, out in Massachusetts, and the company I was selling solar with, they required that you buy your own iPad to go to work. So like in order to work for them, you have to go purchase an iPad and use that iPad to go sell door to door. So in doing so, I made sure I was like, I knew I had to get one anyway, so I got the one with the biggest face because I had heard that you could just draw straight on it, and I was like, I want to try that out. Basically started doing that, and it just kind of like took off. Yeah, there's actually a lot of moments now where if I try to draw something physical, I actually reach down and use my fingers to try to zoom in on the page when I'm drawing, not realizing that I can't zoom in on a physical page. So yeah, I've actually kind of become very, very dependent on the digital side of things, and it also helps in my job where I'm working as doing branding for like t-shirt designs and stuff like that. You got to use Adobe Illustrator anyway for basically, so if you're able to do digital, then it's just like a leg up. But I still do stuff physical, and I still like to do stuff physical. I still like the way it looks, but definitely I've definitely turned digital. But yeah, that's a good question. Yes, thank you, Tom. This is dope. This is just like dope. It's very addicting. It kind of gets in your system and it just kind of won't let go. So I mean, any of you artists out there, I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is very much like dope, and just like all artists, in order to do this, I mean, you just have to, stay away from that type of stuff because you can't get caught up in all that nonsense. So stay in school if you're in school, and if you're not in school, go to school. What are you doing? Go to school.
Eamon, do you read comics regularly or no?
I have read comics. I don't read them regularly currently. Definitely more into. I really enjoyed the cinematic universe, partially because I will take movies over books any day. So like I'm a big movie buff. So like for me, the perfect comic is a really good movie. But I have read a bunch of comics, and I've always loved comic book art. I liked one of my things that I like to do is I do these every Halloween. I do these little Halloween transformations where I turn people into like zombies and skeletons, and do portraits of people that like and kind of Halloweenize them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do the same thing with like somebody will come up and be like, "Oh, I want a portrait of me, but I want to look like I'm the Flash, or I want to look like I'm Superman, or I want to look like I'm the Hulk." So I have done that before. So I've always been fascinated with comic book art. Yeah, one of my favorite examples of comic book art was a few of the copies of World War Hulk, which was very, very cool when they sent him off into space. And was just like, we need you to go look at something, Bruce. And then they sent him off into space. It was like, just kidding, we just want you off Earth. It's pretty freaking funny. But yeah, he got that issue has some really cool stuff. I'm kind of partial to Deadpool. He's my favorite.
I can respect that. That's good.
Comic book character for sure.
Sound
But again,
like more of a
maybe
Marvel.
that's because of the movies.
You sound like more of a Marvel maxi than a DC maxi as far as universe, then, right?
Well, see, that's where it gets tricky, because you talk about how amazing, like the Avengers arc was, like that whole universe. But I mean, you watch the Zack Snyder's Justice League, and that is some very quality stuff. Like that's some good stuff.
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong with I mean, I have a special place in my heart for Adam West, the first Batman. Mm-hmm. So I'm always gonna be kind of partial to Batman because I love Adam West. But yeah, basically, for me, it's kind of like a toss-up. I don't really I don't really have a favorite. I'm more about I want the best quality version of both, and I'm happy. Versus your typical fanboy of one, which means that I must hate the other. I don't subscribe to that sort of
I feel that
reasoning. I think everything could be awesome. Did you see that new? Did you see the new trailer for what movie's coming out on the DC side? The Flash.
Oh, is there a new Flash
movie? Have you seen the new trailer for the Flash?
Dude, for so long I was such a comic movie fan. I loved it. It's so much to keep up with now. Yes, and I never got into the DC stuff. Not that I didn't like it. I was so consumed with the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I just couldn't.
Sure.
There was no more room in my brain to think and care about other things.
No, it totally makes sense though, just because Marvel had the one up as far as they had the quantity, they had the numbers, yeah. They were putting out, I mean, an immense amount of stuff. But DC's been doing some decent stuff. But if you get a chance, I won't tell you what happens in it because it's kind of like a little surprise. But I saw the trailer for the new Flash, and there's a little surprise in there that's pretty freaking cool. So
all right, I'll have to peek it. I'll peek it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. And I mean, you can't go wrong with Heath Ledger's Joker.
I know.
Forget about it. I mean, that's just next level.
I liked
But
when they
Joaquin
started.
Phoenix's Joker, he was so good too, man.
They're all good. I liked when they started porting story over to streaming service too, because waiting 3 years, 2 years for a movie installment where they were putting out miniseries to kind of fill in the gaps, and I don't know. I love that. I live for that.
Yeah. They definitely upped the amount of options out there, which basically gave budget to creators and directors and production companies that wouldn't have had a spotlight without it. If you don't break it into if you don't get to MGM or Lionsgate or one of the big guys, then you're sort of like SOL. But now with all the streaming services, basically no names can come in and be like, I've got a really great script. Let's turn this into something cool. So yeah, it's very cool.
Graphic in chat said, I want the guy from Ant-Man to explain the MCU in a 10-minute video. Are you talking about Paul Rudd or Scott Pym? It's two different approaches to the explanation, but
Yeah.
They did such a good job casting all those characters too.
Yeah, definitely. I was a little bit let down with this new Ant-Man. Personally,
I did not see it yet, but go ahead. Hit me with your review.
So one thing I weigh very, very heavily in any movie is the quality of the villain. If it's a dumb villain, it's hard for me to get behind, because then basically what that does is it makes any attempt to overthrow the villain also dumb. So if you can beat a dumb villain, it's okay, well, you should have if you go play basketball against elementary school students and you win, that's not something to celebrate about. You should be beating them. That's just how it is. So my favorite movies are when the villain is really, really, really good, which means that the good guys have to be really, 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 really good. And unfortunately for the writing staff of this new movie,
I'm gonna interject with my favorite bad guy villain. Maybe it makes Tim and Aaron laugh a little bit too. Have you ever seen No Country for Old Men?
Yes, he's one of the greatest villains of all time.
Yes, right.
Fantastic. Oh, he's freaking brilliant.
Javier Bardem. So
that's correct.
Here's where they're gonna laugh. We have this inside joke about the new Lyle the Crocodile movie, and Javier Bardem plays a singing and dancing entertainer, and he's just to see him in such a role switch from this cold-hearted murdering. It's so good. But yeah, he's a complex villain in that movie. Is all I was going after. So
yeah, he's a monster, and then you watch him and he's tap dancing in a top hat.
Oh, it's so funny. And I love that movie for that reason. I'm I would have never guessed that casting for him. So I love it.
Yeah, that is fantastic. I do appreciate. I can appreciate an actor's range. That's always impressive when they can really be I was one thing and I was so good at that one thing that's all you think of when you see me, and yet I'm going to do something completely different and still be good at it. So that's pretty cool. But yes, that's a great example of a perfect bad guy. My goodness.
Yeah.
You want another good example of an awesome bad guy? Freaking the and this sounds weird because I have young kids, so I end up watching a whole range of movies and stuff like that with my personal time versus watching with them. But that new Puss in Boots sequel, holy smokes, that is an absolute gem. Holy cow, that's a good movie.
Really? All right, I'll give it a shot. I watch too many kids movies. I'll watch it. Anything to change up my regular child cartoon movie workflow. I'm all about it.
Oh, this one is next level. This one is not. I don't categorize this as a kids movie. This is a quality, well written, well performed, and the animation it kicks anything Disney Pixar's doing right now out of the water. It's like it's that good of animation, but also, boy, the bad guy in that movie. Oh, he's so cool. Oh,
Really?
he's so
All right,
cool.
Cool. Mhm.
Oh, brilliant.
I love it. Cool.
That's a brilliant movie. And it seems weird. I mean, it's like, who's gonna be like, oh yeah, Puss in Boots, that's fine, cinematic. No. You would be like, this is gonna be stupid, but no. Freaking brilliant. Plus, one of the characters is played by John Mulaney, and he's one of my favorite comics.
I do love John Mulaney.
It's like, you can't go wrong with John. He's just freaking genius.
Super funny.
Yeah, if you want to turn this into like a movie Twitch streaming thing, I mean, this could go on for hours and hours and hours and hours, because that's one thing that I do tend to be a little long-winded about.
I've put my time in with television and movies too. I got opinions for sure.
Good. I do like hearing other people's opinions and explaining to them
why
they're
theirs
wrong.
is wrong and why not.
Yeah. Looks like somebody put a link.
Yeah, he
Where
was. I'm trying to pull it up actually right now. I got to do a copy pasta from. He was just showcasing who he'd like to see explain. Oh, Lewis. I haven't seen this movie in a long enough time. Oh, his friend. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I could see it.
Oh, because wasn't there a part in the movie where he gives like a recap of what happened?
Yeah, he does a storytelling. Yeah.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
That was the yeah.
Gotcha.
Like
good call. Good reference.
I feel like
My
that's like
go-to-
he would only know that from like watching it recently. He's like, oh, that's hot on my mind. That's the
yeah, right on the tip of his tongue. My go-to is there's a guy on YouTube. His name's the Man of Recaps, and he's the best. He is just if there's a popular show out there, it's odds are he's done a recap of it. But not only is he very, very good at getting you the important parts so that you do feel like you watched it.
Yeah.
He's just very entertaining. He adds in these funny little comments that are just like really good. Basically, with him, I started getting really annoyed with The Walking Dead.
I almost brought it up when we were talking about predictability. It was so good.
Oh yeah. So basically, I stopped. Siri, I'm not talking to you. Yes, I know. There's lots of Walking Dead shows. Stop, Siri. Good heavens. Oh, good heavens. What did I even say? I didn't even say. Did I say something close to Siri? Weird. Anyway, that show became very tiresome, but I also had watched several seasons, and I was like, well, I kind of need to know how it ends. Like, I gotta know. I was just too curious. So basically, I just started watching it only through him. So I would just watch the recaps, get the good stuff, avoid all the annoying stuff, and then that was good. So
yeah,
unofficial sponsor.
I won't say any spoilers about when I stopped watching, but there was pivotal moments in that show where I was just like, I can't put myself through this anymore. Like, it's like I look forward to it so much, and I'm always let down. And don't get me wrong, there was a time in seasons like 1 through 4, maybe 5, where it was intense. It was great. It was worth it.
Absolutely. Holy cow. In the beginning, it was incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially that first season, man, I was like hooked. It was so good. But yeah,
I set my watch by that, man. It's Sunday night, 10 p.m. I was ready. And then I swear at the end of me watching, I swear the episodes were only like 25 minutes long, but you had like an hour worth of like ads. Like they would walk.
Oh yeah.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
So bad.
No. Too so funny, bad. Man. That's the general 100%. Consensus. Everybody that I know that used to watch Walking Dead all fell off around the same time, and they were the same complaints.
Yep. Yep, 100%. If you want something good zombie related, you go like Zombie Land, brilliant.
Yep, quality.
Shaun,
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead is like probably one of the best zombie things that has ever been created in the history of ever.
So there was it 2000? It was like early mid 2000s. There was like another Dawn of the Dead where they were locked in a like a mall, and I love that one for a more modern take on zombies. That Dawn of the Dead from
I don't
like
know
the
if
2000s.
I don't know if I remember that one.
It was good. I liked it.
I think there was one show that was, at least I felt like it was better than Walking Dead. It was Zombie Nation. It was on the Sci-Fi Channel, so it was like lower budget.
Okay.
So there were definitely sequences where you were like, that's kind of crappy CGI. But the thing that they did that was a little bit better was they kind of leaned into like the absurdity of it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Like at one point there was an entire bus of Abraham Lincoln impersonators who had died all together, so they had to fight a bunch of Abraham Lincoln zombies. And that's just fun. It was just a fun scene to watch all of these Abraham Lincolns
I love it.
fight. Like just like lean into a little bit to the goodness about it.
I got real into like the zombie video game genre too, so that's kind of where a lot of my interest stems from, with like the zombie genre. I love like Call of Duty zombies. I've played it for years and years and years. So
okay, now that we're making the switch into video games, so I've got to ask you.
Yeah, hit me.
Have you tried, or have you ever heard of the Sandbox VR?
You mean Sandbox, the Web3 game?
No, Sandbox VR.
No.
Like a brick and mortar store down in I don't even know where everyone lives, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Have I talked to you guys about where you guys live? I'm in Utah.
We might have mentioned it at one point. I'm in New York.
Oh, okay. So I live in Utah, and I'm pretty sure it's in multiple states, but they just opened up this new place, and it's called Sandbox VR, where you go into a room that has been specially designated for their VR experiences, so you can move around in this room with a lot more confidence. Boy, howdy.
It's like a green screen room? Oh, that looks sick.
It's like, it's three, like, you know how when you do like if you've ever done the Oculus, it's very cool and it's very surreal, and you can look all around, and it's very neat that way. But there still is that sort of like, you always don't know exactly where you are, and that amount of uncertainty is always kind of like a little unnerving.
Yes.
In the Sandbox VR, they sort of have this room that has special designations in the experience that lets you move around with a lot of freedom, and so you can actually let yourself kind of get immersed in the world. But boy,
it's got to be scary, but I'm all about that. I'm looking at it right now.
Look up the one that I just finished. You can look up a trailer for it. It's called Deadwood Mansion. Holy smokes, you will not feel adrenaline like that anywhere. Oh my gosh, it is just the best.
See, I don't know. It's a scary one? It's like zombies and stuff, huh?
Oh, it's like you're in the middle of this big mansion, and there's like doors all around you, and there's like stairs that come down, and there's holes in the ceiling that zombies fall through, and you just have to kill all the waves that come after you. But oh my gosh,
how long of a gameplay is it?
It's about half an hour.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Is it expensive? Is it an expensive experience?
It's a little expensive. I'm hoping, because it's new, other copycats are going to pop up, which is going to drive the price down.
Yeah.
But at one point in the mansion game, the front door gets kicked open and all this wind comes in. They have fans in the room that start up, so you feel actual wind on your face as you're looking at the digital wind hitting your face. And it definitely is good enough to confuse your brain to think I'm actually here and that wind is actually coming at me. Like it's that
I love
it's that
that.
immersive.
You know, it's
Cool.
super funny. We were just talking about this, and I think it was the Quarter Machine Discord. We were talking about like early adoption of VR and like the original Quest, and before they became like a household thing, they were like way expensive, and they had like demo stations in like Best Buys. And I remember there being,
Yeah.
and there are videos online, they're hilarious, of people doing, and the demo game, get this, was rock climbing, and it was terrifying. You would climb the broad face of a mountain, and people would get up there, get dizzy or scared of heights, and then fall over into the cases where like
Oh,
you
100%.
would be able to like demo. But this looks insane. I love this.
It's when I say that there's nothing I can say to truly explain like what the experience is, like it's one of those things that you just have to do,
Yeah.
because it really is. I mean, the guns that they give you, when you pull the trigger, it actually activates the butt of the gun to kick into your shoulder. So the gun actually recoils as you're, I mean, it's just like I said, it is next level stuff.
Oh, I
but
love this.
if you're,
I'm all about this.
If you're into like zombie stuff and you want to actually experience what it's like to be part of a zombie, oh my gosh, it is so cool.
Yeah, I'm into this. I'm literally doing my due diligence to see where in Utah I can do this next time I'm out there. So.
Oh yeah, they it's actually it's in like South Salt Lake. It's like Midvale, I think, is the technical city. But oh, dude, it is. Basically, the price tag was a little high, so it's like $40 or $50 to like do that half an hour experience. And me and my buddy were like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
When we left, we were like, that was worth every penny.
Oh, 100%. Where else are you going to be able to do it? You know, that's great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that. Remember back in like the early 90s, they had like VR centers in the mall too. Like those running stands, and God, we've come so far, man.
Yes, we have. It's exciting. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to become more affordable.
I'm so glad that you can draw and talk at the same time. I feel bad. I've been chatting your ear off. But you've
Oh no, it's been super
active.
Pleasant. It's been very, very nice. Yeah, we've been going for like almost an hour so far. So
yeah, 47 minutes, man.
So what I'm actually gonna do is I think I'm gonna call it here, because at this point we just get a little bit more detailed, and so I want anybody who is watching now and anybody who jumps on and watches the page later, I still want them to kind of want to wait and be excited about what is actually happening in the final. So
this
I
is
think
cool.
I'm going to end the storyboard here, but yeah, this was a fun little experience. I want to do this. I want to do this a bunch more times. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so,
this was great, man. If you could you do me a favor and zoom into each one of your little panels and kind of.
Sure.
You don't have to walk me through everything because we don't want to spoil it too much. But maybe give me. I wanted to ask you while you were doing it, but you seem to layer with colors too. Is that for your like when you go in and finalize the artwork? Understanding where lines are going to be and kind of where your start versus end will be if you're layering items. Is that what it is?
So like this first panel is the best example. Basically, why I do the colors, why I do the contrasting colors is I like to do blue as my like absolute. These are the most simple designs, simple shapes, big blocks, just fast little lines. Because when I go and make a new layer, which you can see here, I've actually made another layer that sits on top of that blue layer. When I draw down with red, I can easily see what I did first, make the adjustments, and I can compare in real time as I'm drawing, like, what it was and what I've changed it to, and basically I can separating it out in layers and colors allows me to like, oh, I didn't like that, and I can erase that red, and I still have that layer underneath
cool.
that's still sitting there. And basically I can use red, and then I'll switch to the purple, and I'll switch to the green and the yellow, and I'll just basically build on the layers. But it's purely just for differentiating the versions that I'm doing. The colors don't necessarily have any other meaning besides that. As far as like the final drawing, like I don't say, okay, this red means this and this blue means this. It's just during this draft process, I like to build on itself, and basically, like, so for this one, the blue is basically saying, okay, what in my head, what's the gist of what's this going to be like? And then I would have come back and go, okay, let's do some more details. And then I layer. And then once I'm done with like, let's say right now I was happy with the way that this looks, I would come over here, I would merge all of these down into a single layer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd drop the opacity down to about like there.
Yep.
And then I'd come back in with my black, and then I would start, at that point, I would start doing final work over top, and I would have that
cool.
underneath to kind of do it. But basically I keep that draft there.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I'm far enough with the details, I'll take the draft away, and I'm left just with the black design. So
that's super cool. Also, people that are watching, you have a little bit of a script, so you know the storyline of kind of what's going on from panel to panel too. So
correct.
Yeah, it's not just like off the cuff, like where do I want this to go. There's direction. So cool.
Yeah.
This was great, man. Thank you so much for doing this, and I can't wait for the next one. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's keep this up. Let's keep this growing. Let's just turn this into a whole thing. And for people who are coming in late, or people who are still watching, down the road, you may be able to have input. You may be able to add some things to a panel, or we'll just sit and draw just funny things that you'd like to draw. Like, I don't know, maybe you want to see a rabbit in the style of Deadpool, like a Deadpool rabbit. I could probably pull together like a Deadpool rabbit, or like, yeah, basically draw things for people and be like, all right, take a screenshot. That drawing's for you.
That's it. I like it.
Just kind of cool things. So yeah, let's build this up. Let's keep going. And yeah, it was a pleasure.
Oh, dude, thank you. All right, killer. That's it for the stream, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already followed the Hubiverse channel, now's your time to do it. And we will see you guys in the next stream. Peace out. Have a good night, guys.